to the Greatness Hub Indaba with me, your host, Ngonidzashe Sesemani, a program where we bring in people from various sectors of our societies, be they politicians, influential leaders, artists, and many more. And today I'm in conversation with Dylan Mafukidze, popularly known as Biko of Wadiwa Pamoyo, a popular online drama here in Zimbabwe. Biko, welcome to the program.
Thanks for giving me a call.
Kurisi.
Kuribo.
So basically today we just want to understand who Biko is, what are you doing, what's your vision about life, your role models, and many more. So just to begin our interview, maybe you may take us through who is Biko, or who is Dylan Mafukidze?
Alright, yeah, Dylan Mafukidze, as you say, the name, is a boy, I would say a young boy who was born in 1997 on the 15th of June. So I turned 23 just last month. Last month, yeah. I was raised by my mom. Partly of my life I was raised by my mom and dad until I lost my dad, I think, in 2008. And then I was raised by my mom. I'm a last born in a family of 3. Me being the last born, yeah. And I have a sister and a brother. I love playing board games. I love the color black, and yeah, basically that's me.
So which schools did you attend?
I attended David Livingstone Primary School, and then I moved to Rishabane because I lived in Harare from when I was born up to maybe grade 5, and then grade 6, 7 up to now I was staying in Rishabane. So I attended David Livingstone Primary School that is in Harare, Eastleigh. And then I moved to Rishabane. I attended Shabani Primary School, grade 6, 7. And then I moved to Rishabane High School, Form 1 to 6. And currently I'm studying by MSU in Rishabane as well. I'm in my 4th year. Yeah.
Alright, fine. So you mentioned that you lost your father when you were still young.
Yeah.
And I'm very sorry about that. So how was it like growing up in an environment where you are raised by your mother?
To be honest enough, I never felt the gap of not having my father. Just maybe noticing that he wasn't available physically, but I feel like my mom played a very pivotal role in making me feel so comfortable and not different from many other kids who are raised in families where they have both parents. I could lack maybe things which are monetary, but I feel like the love was always there. And even we've stayed as a family, even my siblings, yeah, they try to like make me feel as comfortable as I would. Like you can see.
And you being the last born, obviously, all the advantages will be given to you.
You see?
Alright, fine. So you are studying mining engineering, right?
Indeed.
At Midland State University.
Indeed.
And today you're also an artist. How do you marry these two things, and how did you find yourself in the arts industry? And you are studying mining engineering. It seems as if the two are kind of divorced. How did you marry the two?
I don't really know if I can really answer that question perfectly, but all I can say is this. I think for starters, you can never run away from yourself. It will always catch up with you. If you are something that you are meant to be, it will always catch up with you. And I would also want to say that it's God who empowers me to be able to do what I do. So this is what happens. Growing up, I wasn't a very dull kid. Like I came from a loving family. Obviously, what you expect, like I would perform well in school, right? So I went to school, and me being in company of my peers that I had, because when I got screened in Form 3 and I started going in the sciences classes, the people that I kept, that were in close contact with me, my peers, my friends, they were those kind of nerd guys who wanted to do sciences and all that. So obviously that instilled in me that I needed to go study something after school which included the sciences, maybe engineering or medicine. And I also grew up with an aspiration of wanting to become a medical doctor. But then, yeah, we all know life happens and we get derailed, we get to discover who we really are. So, me becoming an actor, I think I've always been a performer from an early age in life. I recall even to an extent that sometimes kind of going my kids, like when we have those pockets, I would stand in front of my family and start maybe imitating people or just cracking jokes and them laughing. So I think I've been a performer from an early age in life, and it's always been with me. So I think opportunity just comes at its own time. So I guess, yeah.
That's very interesting. So were you doing any arts related work at school, either primary or secondary, or were you just doing it at home?
Well, at Ngoni, unfortunately, the schools that I attended never had cultural clubs or drama clubs. During my time, maybe they had after time when I had graduated from the schools. But during my time, they never had drama clubs or anything that could support my acting edge that I have. I feel like it's something, a calling that I've always had, and it kept on growing louder and louder until I couldn't ignore. So the only place that I think I practiced my acting thing was at church. I had a youth group which had a very vibrant drama club. I have a special mention of a guy called Ngonidzashe Sesemani In, or popularly known as Marut. I think he's a special mention in creating me as an actor that I am today. He had a lot of influence because he was in the industry, and him being older and also more experienced than I was, I think, yeah, that helped me too.
Okay, so when was that?
I think from the time that I moved to Reeducate, and that's grade 6, up to maybe when I was in Form 3, yeah, I used to be in the drama club at church.
Okay, fine. So you found yourself doing sciences when you were in high school. Did you really love those sciences, or you had that age to say, for me, I should do the art subjects?
Well, that's a tricky question, but I would say that I love sciences now for a fact that it's been a part of my life for a long period, and also the influence, like I'm saying, your peers, what they tell you, like what moves us in life is what we keep around us, like what people around us are saying, and the societal expectations also from us. So I think I would say yes, to a certain extent. I love sciences and I love what I do. Yeah.
That's interesting. If you're just joining us, this is the Greatness Hub Indaba with me, your host, Ngonidzashe Sesemani. Let's take a short break. Welcome back. This is the Greatness Hub Indaba with me, Ngonidzashe Sesemani. Today I'm joined with Dylan Mafukedze, popularly known as Biko. So you play this very interesting role in the play Wadiwa Wepamoyo. Can you explain to me briefly about your role in Wadiwa Wepamoyo?
Right, so Wadiwa Wepamoyo, how it happened is this. I will just explain a brief background of how I met the College Central people.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so I'm placed at Reeducate campus. That's the same campus that's placed film and theatre department at MSU. So I met these guys, College Central, I think in 2016 at their department, because I used to enjoy going there just to see people do their rehearsals or maybe their editing and stuff. Like, I enjoyed the company of artists. So in 2017, I took myself to an audition. It was an open audition for a feature film, which was called Toto the Tribe, and I got a role for myself. It was like driven by College Central, and then fast forward, we became friends, which became brothers with this.
By the way, sorry, who is College Central?
Oh, College Central. So it was a student initiative that grew into a company after they graduated from school. So currently it's Debbie Beta, Ian Sakanda, and Kudakwashe Njani. The three of the people, of which Kudabashe Jan is now my manager, is an artist.
Right.
Yeah, so I was saying fast forward in life, we became brothers with these people. So I think they have believed in my talent, and they have believed in the potential that I could reach, even to an extent that I could not see myself yet. So when Wadiwa Pamo, the script came to life, they called me and told me that they have a role for me in a script, and they sent me the script. I had to go through the script, but I felt like I couldn't do justice to the character as I thought I couldn't execute it as I thought I imagined it to be.
Why?
But it was just scary. Like, I know I really love acting and I really want to get to greater heights with it, but I thought this was just too much for me. Like, I felt like this character needed someone who was better, with a better skill than I have. So I tried to turn it down, but then they told me, as approaching you, we think you are the rightful person for it. They gave me a cushion. So I just started working on it, started doing my rehearsals in front of the mirror, using my family as dummy actors. It was interesting. It was an interesting journey. So I became Biko. We could say I became Biko. So Biko, I think, is an interesting character because he's a loving guy. He's a guy who is carefree, and he's so much focused with life. He has a goal of getting his best friend Mantawa to Kuchando, he says.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's just an interesting character because he comes as a comic relief in the series. So he has some jokes as well. So he was an interesting character.
That's interesting. And so the name Biko, what does it really mean? How did you end up having that character?
So his name is Steven Ngonidzashe. So in them explaining to me how Biko came, the popular Steve Biko.
Okay.
So he's Steven Ngonidzashe. Yeah. So I think since they are from the ghetto just gives people names. Like if you grew up in the ghetto as well, so ghetto, everybody has a nickname. You're not called by your name that you call me. Yeah. So that's Steve Biko for you.
So how do you feel playing that role of Biko in Wadiwa Upamwe?
I think at first it was a challenging thing, and at first I felt like I couldn't do justice to it, like I told you. But then working with the cast and crew, I feel like there were people who made me feel so comfortable around character, and it was a series. So I took a lot of time trying to be Biko, becoming Biko, learning his ideologies and everything like that. So it became a part of me. So I feel so happy to be Biko.
So I believe there are a number of lessons that you learned throughout the whole process, maybe from planning stage, the implementation, to the actual shooting of the movie. I believe there are lessons that you learned throughout the whole process. You may share with us some of the lessons that you learned.
I think being part of shooting the Wadiwa Pamoyo series, it taught me a lot of lessons, like you say. I kind of went blank of what I can really pick it, but I really learned a lot of things. Some of them which don't really include my career as an actor, but just basically getting along with other people, because when you get to set, it's different from people I'm used to. These are not my friends. These are just people that I've met there, and we really have to get along. We really have to become family. So you get to learn how to that public relation thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think it's and after let's fast forward after the show, and after people have received the show, how they respond to it, we would say it came with fame. The Wadiwa Pomo show came with fame. Sure. So I think it taught me as well to become a humble person, because it's not like what you imagine things to be. You really have to deal with a lot of things. Some other people were coming with constructive criticism, some of them just coming with criticism which does not construct you, but still have to get along and put up with that. So I think it taught me a lot of things. It made me an adult in some sense.
Interesting. I've seen quite a number of people who have studied different courses, but at the end of the day, they are doing what is not that which they studied. So, coming back to you, for instance, you are doing mining engineering. Then you've also become an artist, and you can see that the two, they are kind of not married, or they are diverted. So what words of advice can you give to other young people who are out there? They may be doing what they don't want. Maybe they are teachers today, they are doctors, they are nurses today, but their passion may be in something else, like in acting. Can you then encourage them to pursue their dream, to live what they are doing? Any words of wisdom or advice to such people?
So I think my word of advice would be that first of all, you need to evaluate your end goal in life, like what you want to become. Because to me, what's most important is for someone to be happy. And in order for you to become happy, you need to do things that you love doing. So I think for me personally, let me just share my personal experience and what I believe in. I think I don't want to be poor. Like, I grew up in a humble background, and I think I made a mandate to myself that I would be the one to change that. So I think I went into engineering for a reason that I thought acting in Zimat, like it's not guaranteed that you're going to make money out of it. So I needed to become something that could be my financial basis. And then after that I would pursue my passion, which is acting. So for me, I think you need to do something that you love doing. Like, get yourself out there and do it if you really want it. But at the same time, you need to look at all ends, that is this the right thing to do and is it the right time to do that thing? Because you might want to be an actor, but you really know that you're not going to put food on the table with that at that moment. So you need to chase something else that can be your financial basis, I think, and then you can always chase.
So you're saying you need to balance the equation.
Yeah, you really need to.
But at the end of the day, your passion should also.
Your passion should come along, because you need to be happy at the end of the day.
That's interesting. I think after such a long discussion, we need to take a short break.
To be just to make the world around them feel important. Simba mukaka usarunga mwana, cheukira nzira ya wafamba uchakuona kachana, 'cause it's gonna be a long way. Still I got.
Welcome back. This is Greatness Hub Indaba with me, Ngonidzashe Sesemani, as your host, and today my guest is Biko. So in the whole process of coming up with a play, I understand that it involves a lot of people. It involves people from coming from different backgrounds, people who believe certain things, but we're coming together to form one group with one goal. How has it been for you working with people from various backgrounds? Has it been easy?
I think for Wadiwa Pomoy particularly, it was very easy for me. Like, I never expected to get along with a lot of people in one place just that smoothly. But I think only the only people that I knew when I got to the set were Everson, who is Mantau, because I went to the same school with him. I attended the same university with him. Okay. And also the crew, because there were people, they are the college central guys, like I said, that I met them at school. So the rest of the cast were new people to me. But I feel like there were people who had one goal. So whenever you are trying to do something with a lot of people, but you all have one goal, it's easy for you to do something, because everyone shares the same energy, and it's just easy to work with people who share the same energy. So I feel like it was just smooth and easy to share on so yeah.
So a lot of people would say zvekuacta drama hazvina mari, and we have heard vana Oliver Mtukudzi sharing their journey of life to say when they started people were saying zvemagitare kutambisa time, and in our community generally people would say zvekuacta hazvina mari. But for you, how has been the journey so far, and what are some of the challenges that you have faced in this journey of being in the arts industry?
Well, I'd say to a certain extent, it's true in our Zimbabwean context of filmmaking, hazvina mari, because I would say there is no film industry really standing in Zim. It's just a few people trying to create that industry, because I would say, for example, if we just cross the border to South Africa or maybe by Nigeria, or rather if you go far to Hollywood, these people have really known Kuti, like even people who are not involved in the film industry directly, they have accepted that film making can be a business that can bring actually a lot of money even to the country, and so they treat it as an industry, just like they would treat the mining industry, just like they would treat the medical industry. But then in Zim, I think it's just taken as lightly, it's just taken so lightly. So it's not an industry. So it's really hard for you to make ends meet using any sort of entertainment career path. But then for me, I think I'm so glad that Wadiwe Pomoy was my first paying gig. Like I've done a lot of other shows before, but I think my first paying gig was Wadiwe Pomoy. So I'm really happy. I think it's making a nice.
So what are some of the recommendations that we have maybe to either policymakers, like you're saying in Zimbabwe, the film industry is not well recognized. And if you go to our neighboring South Africa, Ghana, Nigeria, and crossing the borders of the continent of Africa, it's recognizable. So what do you think needs to be done?
I think we need to re-educate the society that film making or any other form of entertainment career path is actually it's not different from being a doctor or an engineer. I think the same respect we regard to our engineers or to any other professions is the same we need to regard to our artists. And if we really value that and we really readdress that, I think we can be able to invest in it because we will know we will reap out of it. So I think it's just a matter of us re-educating our society from the grassroots. But even Manawadi, they need to know, like you were saying, but it's something that's being said over and over again in our communities day and night, that kuita zvema guitar, kuita zvema drama chichirombe. Saka it gets instilled in our kids. Yokuti mwana will never aspire to become an actor because they know no one wants to be poor. So I think we need just to re-educate our society from the grassroots, kushiga to every other people, maybe politicians and other people of status.
I think that's very critical what you are saying, and I'm sure if you get opportunities to talk to people like even the Minister of Sport, Arts and Recreation, Honorable Kest Coventry, these are some of the issues that you would want to raise as artists. And we are also very happy that with the coming in of the new curriculum, these are some of the things that are included in the new curriculum. So I would ask, who is your role model? What motivates you and who motivates you?
I would say, my role model, I would pick my brother. My brother is always, he doesn't do much like related to what I do though, but he's just a person I look up to because he's always, I think the fact that he's only been the immediate male figure in my upbringing, it makes him my role model because I haven't seen anything bad in him. Like, I think, everybody else has their own flaws, but I think he's just a guy in the right track. He's in the right track.
So what would you want people to remember you about? What kind of legacy would you want to leave before you die?
Wow, I would say my smile.
Your smile, yeah. You're always smiling, yeah?
I'm joking, man. I think I would say I want people to remember me as the guy who preached much about love, because I feel like with love, someone is empowered. When you give someone love, you empower them to do every other thing in life. So when you meet a stranger, just make sure you spread in love to them, and make them smile and help them if you can. Even with money, even if it's not with monetary things, but just spread love. Spread love.
Yeah. A lot of people are waiting for season 2 of Wadiwa Upamo. When can we expect it?
Wadiwa Upamo is coming back next year, 2021. I think January we starting filming, and then it's going to be the season finale as well.
Okay, of Wadiwa Upamo.
But from College Central you can expect.
Why not now? Is it because of the COVID-19 or what? Or it's the original plan of the project?
There was the original plan to film it.
So colleagues, I think we have heard that Wadiwa Upamo is coming back next year. So let's stay connected and engaged. Any departing words, any words of wisdom before we come to the end of our show?
Just be bored at it.
You're just giving us a flashback. Oh, alright. Dilo and Mafukidze Biko, thank you very much for coming to the Greatness Hub Indaba with Ngonidzashe Sesemani.
Thank you for having me.
So colleagues, we have come to the end of our show. Continue liking us on our social media platforms. That was the Greatness Hub Indaba with me, Ngonidzashe Sesemani. Until we meet next time.